Cool. Metal Summoners, we are back with you. We told you we were coming back. You know how Rockin' Pod works. It's all Metal Summit all the time. Bang, bang, bang. That's exactly how we like it. That is how we like to roll. And we are kicking it right back on. We've got Geno Arce with us from Kiel, from the Ron Keel Band, and another fellow bass guy that we get to crack jokes about. Because the fact of the matter is, you think that you guys can rip on us. Nobody can rip on us harder than we can rip on us because we live in here. Geno,
right.
How are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome, man. We are so grateful and stoked to have you with us, man. First and foremost, how's everything been going and how have your interviews been?
I got to tell you, it's been really enlightening. I mean, a lot of the questions that have come our way have dealt with Keel back in the 80s. And I mean, I love all the old stuff. And I get a lot of questions about Kenny. Kenny's the original bass player. Love Kenny. He's got, I mean, I love everything he did. And I've never got to talk to Kenny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've told everyone I do not know why Kenny chose not to do the reunion. And I'm sure when he wants it known, he'll put it out there. Yeah. But everything today has been going fantastic.
Awesome. Well, let's just roll with that just for another moment because fans will be interested. So talk about your relationship with Ron, and since Kenny chose to sit this one out, talk about your what relationship you've had with Ron, of course, and what and how everything's been playing with Ron and Keel.
I've been Ron's bass player now for 26 years.
Right.
I've been through all his bands, Iron Horse and, the Ron Keel band now. I also play bass for that. And then Keel in 2009, I think I was on my way down to Florida with my wife, and I got a phone call. I answered the phone call, and I go, honey, Keel just asked me to be their bass player. Can I? And she said, of course, so boom. So when I went into the studio, I had played with Mark and Brian before. They had stepped up and done a few shows, so they knew I knew the material. And I mean, pretty much I was in, and it's 14 years later and still doing it. So
that's awesome, man. And you guys are playing tonight, so you get to rock. Keel Fest 2.
Yes, Keel Fest 2. And this time it's got 5 different bands. Ron has his own record company now. So the first 2 bands that open, Crashing Wayward and then the 5th, they're signed to his label. And then you'll have the Ron Keel band, then you'll have Keel, and then followed up by Steeler and a big grand finale. And a lot of moving parts. But we're going to be over at, and I did this before, the name of Bowie's.
Bowie's.
Yes. Doors open at 5:30 and the show starts at 7.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And before I kick it over to Angel, let's talk a little bit of gear. What's your mobile wife's name? Who's on stage with you when you play?
Well, I call her Jessica, and
Mistress.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm an old school guy. I love the Ampeg SVT3s, and I don't use a whole lot of gear because I believe the guitar you have and the pickups you have are going to give you a sound that it's made to give you. So I'm real, like I said, it's real easy for me. I set my stuff up. I've got my highs, lows, and that's all you got. Well, with an SVT anyway. Of course, you've got your EQ, but other than that, I don't need anything. My go-to basses are the Dean Hardtail 5s, because I do play 5, and it's got to be neck through. I mean, you just get a better tone.
Right on. I have a Dean fretless.
Oh, very cool.
That I like to noodle around at home with because it's not ideal for live for me because I just the feeling of the frets help me, of course, just that feel. But when I'm able to just relax and noodle and I'm writing things, I can look down, I can move around. So fretless, it gives you a really unique sound that I really like when it comes to that. And if I really want to get down and dirty, I have a Dean Spire that I really like.
Cool.
That's like my metal bass. Still a 4-string because I'm very loyal to that. But the only thing I don't like about it, and this is simply because I'm what I call a knob snob, it's got 5 fucking knobs on it. And I'm like, why? Just give me the volume and give me like a little tone movement if I feel I need to move it from one area to the other.
Right.
So, I mean, I love it and it sounds great and it's got just so much bollocks behind it, but I'm like, there's 5 things for me to accidentally hit when I'm getting dirty and I don't want them in my way. Why would somebody do this? It makes no sense to me. I remember when Nikki Sixx did his his Epiphone Blackbird Deep 6
Sure.
models,
Yep.
it literally is no knob. It's an on and off switch.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
like, that man gets it.
There you go.
Like,
Absolutely.
let's just get it good and going. Another man that gets it, Angel gets it.
So, what do you prefer, the 4-string, 5-string?
Oh no, I'm a 5-string guy. I started with 4, and the reason, as we got into the, let's say, the late '90s, everyone began using the low D, and instead of having to tune a string down to D with your B string, it's right there. So it takes everything, and I'm glad I'm here so that y'all can see me, because it takes everything from doing this on the bass to this on the bass. And that's really why I dig the 5, because it's movement, completely about movement.
Do you prefer playing with a pick or your fingers?
Fingers, absolutely fingers. I did back in the day. Everyone played with a pick. I played with a pick. Now I use them to throw. That's about it.
I'm a pick guy myself.
That's all good. Nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely. Keep rolling with Angel.
So, what are you looking forward to? I mean, tonight is, Keel Fest, and we're here at Rockin' Pod. What can fans expect tonight?
They can expect a good old time show. We're gonna rock your face out. I mean, if you like good old '80s rock, well, I can't say that because it's going to cover a lot of genres. I mean, you're going to hear some southern rock stuff, which the Ron Keel band is more towards that, I would say. Keel, good old time, heavy metal from the '80s, and then you got the 2 new bands. They're more of today's stuff. So it's going to be a good rounded show.
I mean, with Keel Fest happening tonight, is this something that you can possibly see happening in the future more of?
So we're trying to. I mean, this the last one we did was 3 years ago. So Keel Fest 1, it was in Columbus, Ohio, at Rosavilla, which is no longer there, and it also has a bad history that we all know about. And God rest his soul. But this year we're doing it here. Hopefully, we're going to try and continue this on. We're looking at possibly Vegas coming up. We want to do one out there. Possibly, I don't know, we got to get up to the Midwest and what have you. But yeah, we want to continue it on. But hey, guys, we're getting old.
Absolutely. Well, I'm currently down in Maryland, which is M3 land.
Right. Yes.
And you played M3 with Keel.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like those outdoor amphitheater festival type things versus something like a Bowie's gig?
I got to tell you, well, that's a
They're
two-sided.
of course.
Because
that's the nature of the question.
I love up close and personal, and that's what I love about the Bowie show, because we're really going to be right there with you. We're going to be able to come down and meet afterwards, and I love meeting fans. I love it. And but the big festival gigs, there's nothing like them when they run smooth and just the roar of the crowd. You're on cloud 9. We get to play that rock star. Yeah. And that's what it's kind of all about, wanted to be a rock star.
Absolutely. And I mean, a great show is a great show no matter whether it's 50 people or 5 million people.
That's correct.
But it's got to probably be a cool thing versus where you've got a full house of a club that goes right back to a wall. But it's got to be another really cool thing when you've got something like an M3 or a festival where you've just got fans going up to the horizon.
I got to tell you, I mean, first, I don't remember what year it was, but we were playing in Maryland at the M3, and we drew the short stick. We were coming out at noon, okay?
I remember.
And we were...
I think it was 2013.
Yeah, it might have been. And when we came out to do sound check, there was nobody out there, right? But we didn't know they hadn't opened the gates yet.
Yeah.
So we go back behind the curtain, we're like, well, let's go do our show. And we came back out, and the place was rocking. And, it just takes you to a whole new level. Plus the guys you're working with, I mean, I had the chance that I looked up to a lot of these guys, and we're like Stryper, Queensryche, and all that. And now I work with them, and it's dream come true, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You good?
As far as touring, do you expect more touring coming down the pipe?
I know that we would like to. Touring has become such an expensive freaking, I mean, it's an enigma all its own. The cost to tour is, it's burdensome. I mean, it's huge. So unless you have speak of the man, look who just walked in. Yeah, look who just I think I know this man.
Yeah, welcome back, Mitch.
You just can't.
No wonder you kicked me out of here. You want me to be talking to him?
Never.
No, they never.
Right.
I just texted you to see if you were here.
Yeah, I got it. It came in on my butt. Well, I'm a little busy.
No,
It's
we
all
had
family.
a few minutes ago.
So the whole touring thing, I would love to tour. We would like to get back out there, but again, it all comes down to finances. So it's actually more lucrative for us to do these festivals and do maybe 6 to 12 of them a year, you know.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
When it comes to bass, what bass player influenced you
Oh, wow.
coming up?
That's a loaded one there too. You know, a lot of people. Well, I'm a Who fan,
Okay.
but as far as man, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. Billy Sheehan, of course, is in his own league. Geddy Lee is in his own league because that man thinks with both sides of his brain. I only use one brain, but only one half. Michael Anthony is one of the most underrated bass players that are out there. His time with Van Halen, I don't think that he got the notoriety that he should have because he's actually a phenomenal bass player. So I could go on and on. I mean, bass players, they all have something to give.
Would you have or would you play a Jack Daniels bass?
Oh, hell yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I was Jack for a while, and then I was Jim Beam, and now I'm back to tequila. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. So are you a Cabo Wabo man with Sammy?
Well, I was, but now seeing the Ron Keel band, my name was El Diablo. That's the character I played for that band. Well, I have come across a new tequila called Naked Diablo, and it is phenomenal. It's got a nice little vanilla taste with it. Yes, awesome. I highly recommend it.
All right, right on. Absolutely.
Something we gotta try.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we do like the Metal Summit mixed with like taste testers and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think I know what it
Metal Summit bartenders.
You all got to call me on that one.
Done. You'll be the first phone call because this is the first real drinking conversation I think we've had with a guest like in over 160 episodes.
No, I got to tell you, man, I have a birth defect. I'm not kidding here. I actually have 2 livers and 1 kidney.
Wow.
Now I'm lying, but it works.
But it sounds good,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
but it sounds true.
Yeah, it works, and I enjoy my alcohol. So.
And so when you're not out with Ron or Keel, what are some of the other things that you do? Or you work with other bands? Are you writing stuff for yourself, or do you produce?
I will, and I'd love to get into producing. That's probably next step. I do like to, I'm always sitting at home in the home studio doing stuff because you can't stop.
Yeah.
I will go out with other bands. I don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with that. So pretty much, but right now I just got my first granddaughter. And
congratulations.
So spending time at home with her is really cool. Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely. Was that something that you looked forward to?
Yeah, so I've been in Alabama now for 2 years. Before that, my wife and I were in South Dakota because of the Ron Keel band for 5 years, and that took us away from our daughters. Well, time came around, and it was time to get the family back together. So, and it's good having them. And then our eldest became pregnant, and we knew the baby was coming, and she's just a peach. Berkeley Rain. She's just a peach.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, we're all family people with various girlfriends and stuff like that, and Megan and I casually talk about that, but we know there's no rush when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right. Now, bringing my kids up when they used a lot of their imagination because we lived on a lake. They were outside all the time. Electronics today, I'm telling you, if you can keep your kid away from them as long as possible, you're going to do just fine.
Nice. Oh yeah, absolutely. Angel?
So, what album is maybe your top 5 records that influenced you?
That influenced me? Oh wow. Okay, so Boston, the Boston self-titled album. 2112, absolutely by Rush. then I would say Queen Killers, and of course Van Halen, 1978.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love Queen.
Yeah, oh, me too.
I can just. My mom gave me my first Queen record, and it was a wrap.
There you
know,
go.
for my own taste, I developed more of a heavier edge when it came to being a Motley Crue fan,
Sure.
and also getting into like the goth industrial stuff, like 69 Eyes and Typo Negative, which I still love very much to this day.
Absolutely.
But Queen was always right there. I will die on that hill.
Yep.
For that band.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, it shows my age. I mean, that's the stuff that I grew up on. I mean,
you were only a senior when I was a freshman, dude.
Right. I'll be darned. Look at that. Making me feel better.
I mean, we're all different age.
No, for sure, man. When it comes to like, just were you a Keel fan back in the day when it came to that stuff?
Wow. You put me on the spot there.
No spots. We have asked that question before.
That's funny story. I used to watch. I mean, I'd come in and MTV would be on when they actually played videos.
Yep.
And boom, Kill would come on, and I have to admit, I was like, I don't know if I like these guys or not. I mean,
Sure.
It wasn't my cup at the time. But the more and more I listened to them, I fell into them pretty deep. Especially, I've always thought that they were heavier than the other people in their time. I mean, I think you looked at Bon Jovi and that kind of thing, and they came out and they rocked. I mean, it was like Speed Demon, and
still my favorite.
Classic, yeah, absolutely. So after meeting Ron and really getting to know him and everything, he's my brother. I mean, yeah, it's I love being in Kiel. Don't fire me. All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know we're getting close to that time. Angel, let's pop it over to you, man, before we let Geno continue on.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you for the time.
Thank you guys, man. This has been a ball.
But man, we definitely hope you come back, because we're always doing interviews and
I would love to. I'll give you all a holler, and we'll do the whole drinking thing.
We sure will.
Yes, that's what we got to do.
You all get them lined up. I'll line them up at my place, and we'll just do the test.
It'll be fun to see.
Make it a thing.
It'll be fun to see who gets more fucked up first, me or Jay.
You, trust me, you've lost this fight already.
I win.
I lost it once already.
Yeah, but we're not putting chicken and waffles on the line for this one, dude. We're going to have a much more glamorous prize.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Geno. We appreciate you, man.
Thank
Absolute
you, man.
pleasure, dude. Metal Summoners coming back to you guys in a little bit. This is us wrapping it up with Geno. You guys take care. We love you. Horns up, fangs out.